time.
But before we say good evening to our guests and go to the debate, we just want to put some things out there clearly for our viewers and for Vijay Mallya. Those were two of our reporters, Times our reporters outside the Westminster Court, who are putting to him those tough questions. So, Mr. Mallya, you may think you have the liberty to act cocky and throw some sarcastic jibes at our reporters who were just there, present, doing their duty. Here is a reality check for you. We present to you facts from India's case that has been put together against you to bring you back home. Facts from the investigations that have been carried out by India's premier agencies. Facts about what is now called loot and scoot. So let's pull up those facts and the entire version, what he claims. So while Mallya claims, you don't have the facts. So don't ask me irrelevant questions. Well, we do have the facts, and the fact is that we have access, Vijay Mallya, India's dossier about why UK should send you shipping back to our country.
Yes, keep checking the bottom of the screen as we put out another fact versus Mallya's version. We're not calling it fiction yet, but it is Mallya's version. You know what it is then. There was no loan diverted anywhere, he says. Times Now has accessed the CBI charge sheet claiming funds were siphoned. Now to the next one.
In fact, as we play that out for you, I was most certainly not called a thief. We'll also put out the video evidence of that in just a bit. But here is what really happened on that day during the match, Mr. Mallya. The video shows you are being called a chor. Dekho, chor gaya. That's what it is.
Well, he says, have paid for my mansions with tax-paid earnings. The tax we paid and the earnings he took away. That's what it looks like. Times Now highlighted the details of Mallya's assets, which are totally under the scanner. And the next fact was his Mallya version, Tanvi.
No, Mr. Vijay Mallya, don't get all hyper again and start tweeting, lashing out at us, because this is not some sensational news. These are facts that we are putting out to each of those points that you put out. It has been a political conspiracy against me. Well, was it a political conspiracy, Vijay Mallya, when you were made a Rajya Sabha MP with the support of Congress, the BJP, the JDS, all those political parties? Was it a political conspiracy then?
Wonder who conspired, because somebody in the floor of the parliament tipped you off, didn't they? That's why you slipped and you ran. You gave them the slip and ran. The final one, Mallya's version, where he comes out and says, I have done nothing wrong. ED summons, you skipped. You're termed willful defaulter. You absconded. You even ignored the Supreme Court summons. And you have done nothing wrong, sitting on 9,000 crores due to the Indian exchequer and the Indian people. You have done nothing wrong. Absolutely. Now let's get to the juicier part. We not only caught him unnerved, we also caught him lying. And about what? The fact that he was booed at the Oval. Can you believe it? This man, behaving like a Bada Sahib, lied through his teeth because he saw Jonathan standing there and he assumed that Jonathan could not have been there at an India game. But look what happened.
Mr. Mallya, you seemed rather upset by that episode at the Oval the other day when you were called a thief.
I certainly was not called a thief.
Right.
I have video evidence. You may have heard it. Did you? Were you there?
Yes, I was.
You were. And yes, and two people in a drunken state started yelling, okay? But you didn't see the several others who came and wished me well.
Allow me this, Tanvi, I couldn't resist it. It's a liquor baron who's talking as if being drunk is a bad thing, as part of the cover-up. So who's caught with his pants down today? The Bada Sahib.
Absolutely.
Well, let's say good evening to our guests before we move on. Sanju Verma in the Mumbai studio. It's a full house here in our Mumbai studios with Anand and me. Jitendra Bhargava joining us and Sujay Khontawala. Also Alimuddin Khan, political analyst, Prasanjit Bose, an economist, and Neetu Shukla, former Kingfisher employee with us. Let's also say good evening to Shailendra Singh, Joint Managing Director of Percept, who joins us this evening. Now, who would want to start that? Let's start with you, Neetu. What did you feel when you saw that entire sequence, where all that Mallya did was call it a political conspiracy, deny all the allegations, and
what
of course,
I got from
like
it,
he usually does, lash out at the media?
What I saw from it is I was really happy to see, at least in some country, Mr. Vijay Mallya attends the court proceedings and does not evade them. But the fact that he attends court proceedings in UK and doesn't show up in the Indian courts is a telling sign of what our system is like. And we need to tighten our systems because that is a tight slap on all 1 billion Indians. He did not flout any rule in the UK. He paid the employees, he paid the taxes, he paid the charges, but he did all that he had to do in India. That again is a terrible sign for us Indians. One, the past government gave him loans, the current government allowed him to escape. We are now wasting all this time trying to get him back, where in fact the current government had a couple of years to build up a strong case and retain him in India. So we are now wasting all this time trying to get a criminal back to the books. I think that the fact that he's roaming around with such a cocky swagger is because he's very sure that nothing is going to happen to him. And that again is very, very sad for us Indians.
Well, he took a few years.
Our government now needs to prove that what they were saying was not all bluster and they are actually serious about getting the man back.
Well, they might be serious, Neetu,
right
but
now. Let's see if they are able to get him back.
You know what?
But as of now, I'm very sorry to say there's not one word from this current government for the employees.
Let Sanju Verma take that. Yeah.
Okay, you know, Anand, first things first. I think Neetu's statements that the current government has done precious little. I think that's as far from the truth as, the case may be.
Yeah.
Let's, look at facts. Yes.
Are you sure it was not somebody from the government who tipped him off on the corridors of the parliament?
Anand, when Neetu was speaking, you gave her uninterrupted time.
See, I hope you will extend me
the courtesy, and then I will extend you the courtesy of a reply.
But you have to extend. Allow me the leverage and the leeway to intervene, Sanju Verma. And I've made a very fair intervention. I've asked, can you confirm to me that it was not somebody from the government who actually tipped him off?
Can you confirm to me that, it was not somebody from the opposition who tipped him off? Because, we can...
Please do it. The parliament footage will be available. There will be witnesses and there will be those who know the truth. We want to know who was the one who tipped him off.
And how would the opposition know what the government is planning to do?
Yes.
Listen. Let's be very clear about one thing. We can have this back and forth. We can try and sully the government. We can, play the devil's advocate with the current government. But the fact remains that Mr. Vijay Mallya started defaulting on employees' dues, stopped contributing to the EPF, to the PPF way back in 2012. And do you know something? For all the bravado that has been displayed by the opposition and ex-employees like Neetu Shukla, the fact remains that in December 2012, the DGCA was given a chance to cancel his license because his license expired. But that was not revoked, that was not cancelled. And Anand, can I complete? But the fact remains that we came into power in May 2014, and please note that by December 31st, 2014, the government ensured that Kingfisher's license was revoked for good.
But why is it that
by then the Kingfisher was done and dusted, by the way. It had been off on the grounded for a long time. Neetu's specific question to you was, what is it that the government has done for the employees? The employees who lost 300 crores in all of this and have not been paid.
Yes.
That's point number one. The point number two is, where was your party raising voice from 2012 to 2014? You were a very active opposition then.
Let me come in
blocking
now.
everything that was coming to the parliament.
Let me now come in here. I've been hearing, Kingfisher's ex-employees coming in various TV studios ranting against the government.
Don't call it a rant. Don't call it a rant. No, Sanju. I'm sorry, it is not a rant. They have been victims. They have lost money. For months they were not paid. No, please do not disrespect any of these people who've genuinely gone through pain and use words like rant. Don't use words like rant is all I'm saying.
Can I complete? Now, the reason why, obviously nobody wishes ill for the ex-employees of Kingfisher, but the fact is they joined a private carrier, they joined a private airline, and it was not as if the government had any stake. And when you join a private company, let me complete, It's a contract between the employee and the private employer. So dragging the government into this,
allow Neetu Shukla a rebuttal.
Absolutely not done.
Now we heard you out.
This is a contract between the
we heard you
employer
out.
and the private employer.
Two questions that you have
So
not
Neetu
answered.
Shukla cannot just make light of the government.
She can.
Legally, she does not have a locus standi to blame the government to get the dues for her.
If only you guys had actually investigated who tipped off Mallya that he ran away from this country. Now you can go running around pretending to try and get him back. But he is not back and they have lost money. Neetu Shukla, please.
That the extradition process has begun.
Neetu Shukla, please.
There would have been no extradition process which will take many years had somebody not tipped him off in Parliament and allowed him to slip away. That will always remain. Till the time you name the person. Till the time you name the person. No, Sanju Verma, till the time you name the person, this government will always be responsible.
Money laundering
Neetu
case
Shukla
against him.
now Sanju Verma, don't outshout the panelists and try and cover up.
He could not have been detained. Anand, you are outshouting me and you are accusing me of outshouting
You're sitting right next to me and you've got Mr. Bhargava, who's got quite high decibel levels himself, who's suffering now. But right now, Shailendra Singh, Jitendra Bhargava, Sujay Kantawala want to come in after Neetu Shukla can rebut. Neetu Shukla.
Come on.
Now, Shailendra Singh, one sec. Coming to you in a bit. Neetu Shukla, the simple point.
Thanks. Ma'am,
yes.
I have been giving you all the respect and calling you ma'am. I think I only deserve respect in return. Kindly do not be derogatory with me. I have given you only respect when I have spoken to you.
Anything derogatory
According to you, no private company employee under
will not allow you to
You did. I'm sorry, calling me. You did what you said is considered derogatory.
Please don't shout and please don't interrupt. Allow her to speak.
That aside, ma'am.
Allow her the decency.
That aside.
Allow her her right to rebut you, please. You hear her out.
Okay, ma'am, you speak, then I'll speak.
Hear her out.
All I'm saying is you have to be really blind.
Okay.
Sanju Verma, the more you're going to shout, the more you're going to put the government and your position in bad light tonight.
Anand,
so please don't shout.
Please don't put words into my mouth.
So please don't shout. Please don't shout.
I'm not shouting, but you cannot allow the other
you are
to
shouting
speak.
right now. You are shouting right now. You are shouting right now, and you are the one who used the word rant against employees who have a genuine concern.
Thanks.
Now, it is more than it. Please.
No, I don't appreciate you coming and saying these people like Neetu Shukla who come on these debates. Sanju, take a deep breath, think about it. Not the right way to. You can have your political fights with other politicians and political analysts. You cannot.
I'm sorry.
Please learn to listen to the people of this country, Sanju Verma. Neetu Shukla, please.
Please appreciate that.
Let me tell you once again. Let me tell you once again, and for the final time, Sanju Verma, if you're going to shout on this debate.
Ma'am, whenever you're done, I'll come in.
Yeah, once again, Neetu. Every time you're
Whenever
going to shout,
you're done, ma'am.
Please, I'm putting this on record. Every time you're going to shout and outshout somebody on the panel tonight, Sanju Verma, please be careful that you are representing the BJP and the government today on a very sensitive issue where a lot of employees and a lot of people feel that the government did not do its job by keeping him back on Indian soil. So please be very, very careful on the words and the adjectives that you use. That's my final request to you. And after this, then it's all on you. You are shouldering the responsibility of representing your party and the government today. So please be very careful and allow the panelists to speak. Allow the panelists to speak.
The panelists cannot mislead.
You will intervene when you are asked to intervene, ma'am. Show the decency to the other panelists. They have not spoken yet. They are listening to you. Please don't intervene. Please don't intervene. Last time I'm telling you, ma'am, please don't intervene. Yes, Neetu Shukla, make your point and then I'll go to our other panelists. Yes, Neetu Shukla.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks. I was really shocked that the BJP spokesperson, the current party which has come in with such a thumping majority, turns around and says that you had a contract with a private company, hence you do not fall under the government protection. You do not come under Indian laws. How you get your money from your employer is up to you. So what BJP is saying right now on this show is all private employees are open to get fleeced under the BJP rule because they believe that we have to fight our solitary battle. That to me is very shocking, ma'am. So are we only here to take up for the ultra-rich and give loan waivers to poor farmers? Am I not supposed to get anything from this government? Is the middle class here only supposed to shoulder the burden of taxes and to pay off all these people?
I need to respond, please.
All right, you have asked your question.
How do you listen to you? Let
the other panelists come in. Let the other panelists come in. There are others who agree with Neetu Shukla, disagree with her too.
Jitendra Bhargava,
please.
Just give me a time. Anand, let's look at it. There's a certain subject for which we have all been invited here.
Yes.
And we are digressing and leaving focus on from Vijay Mallya.
Agree with you, sir.
Let's put it this way. Kingfisher is not the only instance of a private sector company folding up.
Yeah.
There are any number of such examples. Are we going to treat Kingfisher employees differently from other companies just because it's an airline and that's in a glamorous world? It is not.
Yes, we should, because we need to make a case out of one bad
Lidu, hold on. Let's listen to other sides from all points of view. That's it.
They deserve sympathy. There's no denying on this. But the reality is that government cannot be fighting for a certain section of employees of a certain
No,
company.
Mr. Bhargava, I don't think that's how it functions.
Let me explain.
Yeah, but just to that limited point, what is it that any of the governments in the last... 1 minute. Let me finish my point now, sir. Sanju, stop yelling, please.
Wait.
What is it that any of the governments have done? What is it that any of the governments have done to bring in actual legislation and laws, Mr. Bhargava, to ensure that company owners cannot run away, leaving the employees high and dry? Is that a new problem? Like you said, several private companies have gone down. Where is the legislation? Where is the legal action?
Look at it.
Nothing.
Please, employees were just one of the people who were denied payment by this thing.
Yes, but these are people.
Hold it.
These are people.
Listen to me. There is a service tax department. There is a provident fund department. There is an income tax department. They all defaulted.
Yeah.
Are we singling out these departments and said the government has not done anything for these departments to recover? The government is concerned as far as the banks are concerned, because banks have gone
Anand,
to the
get in a word.
Coming to you.
They followed the various courses,
right,
and they're getting it because that's a larger sum. As I said earlier, all sympathies for the employees. Nobody should be denied payment.
But here's the thing.
To shift the focus.
No, not shifting the focus. Not shifting the focus. Point, sir, is when a Vijay Mallya today is cocky, he's arrogant, he lies through his teeth, and he stands there on English soil mocking India. He goes to watch an India match saying that I'm a patriot, but then he says, I don't trust the courts of this country. Then isn't he insulting this country?
Yes.
And so when an employee comes out and speaks, it's just a representation of all those people who he has looted, including the banks, including the tax departments, including his vendors, including his suppliers.
Every single taxpayer of this country.
Everybody.
Every single taxpayer of this country whose money has been lost.
Prasanjit Bose, Wait, let's go to the other panelists. A lot of them have not spoken. 21 minutes.
A lot, but you've
21 minutes, please don't get
personal. I'm going to ignore that and go to our other panelists. Okay. Go ahead.
Sujay Kantawala, Shailendra Singh, and then Prasanjit.
Just visualize that Vijay Mallya is watching this debate.
Oh, he would be laughing at us.
And yeah, so therefore what we need to do is we need to have a united stand. We need to get this man back. And how you get this man back? The matter is before the court. The Crown Protection Service is arguing the matter on our behalf. Our officers have given all the documentary evidence to them. Our finance minister has also done his diplomatic efforts. So the whole focus now should be to get him back, because he has mocked at our system. And the way he moves around in UK, the way he has his flashy VJM1 car, Maybach moving around over there, we all have seen that. That's all our money.
Yep.
And therefore, each and every asset of his needs to be located, traced, attached.
In Mr. Malya's words, those are tax-paid earnings.
That's my
tax paid by us.
That's my money.
By him. We don't know.
Shailendra Singh.
Can I please make a
Let others make an opening remark. Come on, Sanju.
We'll come to you. Let's have opening comments from three of our panelists who have not spoken 25 minutes into the debate. Yes, Shailendra Singh. Thank you for your patience.
Anand, I mean, can we, Anand, I think in all fairness, I just want to clarify that I don't support or oppose any political party. So my views are neutral, and I speak as an Indian. So please do not react on my comments. Please don't. And also don't.
No, we will react, but we'll react fairly. Let's go on.
I think I want to stick to the hashtag that you're carrying.
Yeah.
Sure. I just want to say, I'll tell you why Mr. Mallya is very cocky, and that's pretty evident, that I think our legal systems, our political system allows such crimes to be committed. It allows people after committing such crimes to leave the country. It allows us to make a weak case to bring them back. It allows those people to flourish abroad. Now, this is the way the system operates. And what happens on debates like this? I thought debates like this should be about reality and facts. But political parties, on the other channel, there was BJP and Congress fighting, and all Indians were quiet, like the Kingfisher employee. I'm really apologetic to you, ma'am, that you just barely can get in a word. So all I have to say is that Mr. Mallya is for sure proven guilty by all of us, but guess what? He's smarter than all of us because he knew the law better than all of us. He's peacefully sitting in England. Now, the country needs to prove itself that its legal system is robust and there'll be no more Mallyas, and we'll bring Mr. Mallya back if he's guilty.
No, Shailendra, I know the point that you're making, and I understand it has to be about facts.
No, who are the people involved? No, hang on. There are banks involved. There are politicians involved. No, just hang on, please. Give me the patience, please. It's not just Mr. Mallya. Of course, he's involved. You are making him guilty 24/7. But, of course, bring him back. Take him to the book. But the point is, how many other people in the same chain were guilty?
But the others have already...
You do know there are some people who are already behind bars. You do know there are some people who are already behind bars, including official senior executives from the airlines, as well as banks.
My point
a CMD, Shailendra, come on, former chairman and managing director of a bank has been arrested and been in the police custody, in the CBI's custody. There are 2 charge sheets that have been filed. So all the other people will be made accountable. And we sit here and we ask Congress, just 2 minutes please. We ask the Congress and we ask the BJP. So we ask the politicians.
Ma'am, you're an anchor. Give the respect to the panelists. We make an effort. This is what happens. You have the power of the microphone and somebody has a political power. We don't get a word in.
So do you. You made a point. I just corrected you on that point. Go ahead and finish your point.
Do something with those properties and give the money to the employees.
Let me now please.
The selling of the properties is happening. It has to happen. It has to happen. It has to happen. As you said, Shailendra, as per the legal process is on. They are seeking permissions of courts, attaching properties, selling those properties. All of that is on.
But who creates the legal process?
But you started off now. No, 1 minute, please. Can allow me to at least make a point to go to other panelists. But you made a very interesting point, Shailendra, and that point is about extradition, and the point is about bringing him back.
Yes.
Because it is about the hashtag, it is about the fact that Mallya has, with his comments, time and again mocked India and insulted India. On numerous occasions, it's mocked and insulted the Indian government. And I don't know how they see it, but I would assume they'll be very infuriated with it. Just look at his body language at multiple places, from the charity gala to the Indo-Pak match, and then today's quote. Now, there are 3 instances where he's been spotted in just the last 10 days. And we'll try and pull up those visuals and look at his body language, Anand. That has to be seen, because the question we are asking right now, Shailendra, is why is it that he's being so cocky? Why is it that he thinks he can go and watch these Indo-Pakistan matches, play the patriotism card, and cheer for his team? All the time he's on the run. All the time he's on the run, evading. He's a willful defaulter and an absconder.
Let's also discuss what the government has done. Let's please also focus on that.
Sanju, I am going to request you. I am going to request you to give us 2 minutes. We are making a point here. Please be patient.
You see that? You see that, ma'am? You see that, ma'am?
I see that.
Look at the attitude.
Let me also get a fair chance to rebut.
No, please, you can't continue to play victim. The victims are the people of this country right now, Sanju Verma. And please maintain some decorum on this debate. You can try and express your protest. Please, no, you are trying to bully all the other panelists, Sanju Verma. I have shown a lot of patience. Please don't test my patience. I don't want. I want to be civil with you in this debate.
So
please allow me to.
Civil, Anand. I just said I want to make a point. Please stop bullying me.
Yeah, you can make your point.
You cannot bully me.
I said I'll come to you, ma'am, after we speak to our other panelists, and please show that patience and please show that respect to the other panelists here. They've also taken the effort and they have their right to make their voice and their point heard here. So let's please, like I said, ma'am, every intervention that you make, every time you're making noise here on the debate, please, you are representing the BJP and the government, so you please do it responsibly. I am just going to request you to do it responsibly for the last time. I don't want to raise my voice with you, but you're forcing me to. Please don't let me go.
Can we get back to the point
let's get back to the debate. Prasenjit Bose.
Stop bullying me.
Anand, let's just finish that point that we were making, and this is about extradition, because that's what Shailendra was also talking about. Now, why is it that he is being cocky? There are two aspects to it. There are two reasons, and we're going to pull up those graphics for you as well. Reason number one and reason number two. Reason number one is the fact that he knows it's a long and tedious process, that he knows the kind of options he really has when it comes to extradition.
Yeah, can we put out the extradition graphics?
Yes.
Yeah.
If
because
the
we need to tell our viewers what we are trying to make, the point that we're trying to make. Yeah.
If the magistrate decides on this, Mallya still has the option of appealing against that. After that, the Secretary of the State has to order the extradition. He can appeal against that as well in a high court, and then go ahead and appeal against that in a Supreme Court. So this is going to be the legal process. And how many times, Anand, in the last 23 years since we've had the treaty, has somebody been extradited? Once. Anand.
Only one extradition. Only one extradition since this treaty in 1993. That is, and the only extradition so far has been of Samir Bhai, Vinu Bhai Patel, wanted for the 2002 Gujarat riots, and this was in October 2016.
That also because it was not contested.
That means
it was not contested.
Yes, because he gave his consent.
Because he gave his consent. It was not contested.
Here Mr. Mallya says he's innocent.
Yes, and time and again we've had these issues. So, Theresa May, Home Secretary in the past, has allowed the extradition, but then the appellate court has rescinded it and it's blocked it, and then you can't do anything. The courts have not allowed. This time around, there has been, we have to also put this on record as I go across to Prasenjit, that the government has signed an MOU with the British government. They have said that they will expedite the extradition proceedings, but we don't know how much time it's going to take, because he's got the right to keep approaching courts and he will try and duck, dodge and use whatever defense he has, Prasenjit. But what happens is, every time there is going to be a hearing, he's going to come out and mock this country. He's going to come out and mock India. He's going to come and mock the system. He's going to come out and say, I'm on British soil. I'm an Indian who's on British soil and I'm standing there and mocking my own countrymen. What can you do? And that is an answer to which...
Absolutely. I think it's most unfortunate.
Yes, Prasenjit.
Yeah, you see, the point is that, first of all, it's very obvious what Mr. Mallya's strategy is, that he doesn't want to face the Supreme Court of India. He's already a proclaimed offender in the eyes of the Supreme Court. And the way he has run away from this country shows that that is the attitude he has shown towards the constitution of our country, towards the Supreme Court of our country. So let us not have two opinions about the fact that this guy is actually an offender. He cannot be defended. He is a proclaimed offender. He has run away from the judicial system of our country. But I think that the simple, and I actually would point out two, major failings of this government. And I would like the very boisterous BJP spokesperson to give pointed responses to them. Number one is that this entire extradition request, why hasn't the government thrown its weight and pressurized the British government in dealing with this case as an extraordinary case? Because 9,000 crore rupees of our banking system is involved. It's a very, very major crime that he has committed. And I don't think that the government, this is not simply a civil case. That, a person has done something.
Can we take one question at a time?
Because I think
it's a very serious case. Secondly,
secondly,
let him make his second point also, then you can report. Then you
why was his passport cancelled only after he ran away? What was this government doing, this so-called nationalist government? Why didn't it cancel his passport before he left the country?
You asked two questions,
Why did the government allow Vijay Mallya to leave this country?
Now, you've made 2 points. Let the BJP answer pointedly to these questions. Yes. Prasenjit's questions, you've heard them. Sanju Verma, go ahead, please.
Okay, you called me the boisterous BJP spokesperson. When I told that Neetu Shukla was ranting, Tanvi, started yelling at me. So much for Tanvi's hypocrisy.
Digressing.
No.
Let's
so you did not
jive.
intervene when another panelist was making a personal comment at me.
I don't need to come to your defense. Look at you fight and defend yourself by yourself.
Anyway, you can call me boisterous, what have you. I will make the point that I have to as the spokesperson of the BJP. The limited point is that a lot has been done. Point number one, the ED has attached 9,000 crore of assets. Now, you might say attaching assets of 9,000 crore means zilch. But the fact is that the Debt Recovery Tribunal has started to recover 6,000 crore of assets of Vijay Mallya. Why was his passport not revoked earlier? Because under the Indian Passport Control Act of 1961, that could not have been done because he was officially not declared an absconder/fugitive, which the case is, as we speak now. He has been charged with flouting the rules under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, PMLA. The CBI/Enforcement Directorate
these are all
has
facts
issued a non-bailable warrant against him. This government has done a lot. We have ensured
can we
that
get down?
Vijay Mallya and his companies cannot access the capital markets. Vijay Mallya and his companies can no longer access the capital markets, which I think is a big deal. The SEBI never swung into action when the Congress ruled. But the BJP government has ensured that the Enforcement Directorate, the CBI...
Calm down. Your point can be heard even without shouting. Please,
the Securities and Exchange Board of India has ensured that Vijay Mallya has stepped down as a director from all the group
now, what
companies.
You know what you have done?
He cannot
you have given a minute
from
long,
the Indian domestic capital markets.
You have given a minute long speech.
And I think that's a big deal.
Sanju Verma, you have given
Why was the SEBI not asked to take action against Vijay Mallya in 10 years of UPA rule?
Now, do you want a debate or a monologue? Do you want a debate or a monologue? Now, hear me out. He asked you two pertinent questions. He asked you two straightforward questions. That if you are going to crack down on Vijay Mallya, why did you let him slip away? Why did you block his passport only after he left the country? That was the first question that he asked.
And now, I gave an answer to that.
You would say that by that time there was no non-bailable warrant, nobody knew. But please tell me.
No charges were framed under PMLA at that time.
Please tell me.
So he could not have been held back.
Please tell me.
The charges under PMLA were framed later on.
How did he know 24 hours before the charges were framed and some action was going to be taken that he should move? So who tipped him off?
Is that today there is a non-bailable warrant pending against him. The extradition
I have only one submission to make. We are not questioning the efforts the government has shown.
The extradition process will be brought to fruition sooner than you and me expect.
I have a simple point to make. That if this government was so serious...
This government is very committed to bringing the extradition process to fruition.
It all sounds rhetorical till you answer my question. Till you answer my question and you cannot answer it.
I have a right to rebut.
Yeah, you have a right to rebut. Prasanjit, I'm coming. Prasanjit, my question and addendum to what you are saying is that if this government was so serious in bringing back Vijay Mallya, the first thing they would have done is they would have figured out who tipped him off. And they would have named that person across the country and said, this is the man who tipped him off. Or this is the person who tipped him off. I don't know man or woman or who that person is. This is the person who tipped him off. Why haven't they said that yet?
Absolutely.
Point is, it is because that tip happened.
I completely agree with you.
It is because that tip happened, irrespective of what happened in the past. It's because that tip off happened that he's doing this today to us. He's rubbing salt into not just our wounds, he's actually using a knife, he's just digging that wound a little more, and then he's adding a little bit of pepper also into it. That's how much we are burning every time he does that, sitting there in the United Kingdom, Prasanji. That's an honest fact.
Absolutely.
Congress, BJP, whichever political party, somebody tipped him off and somebody allowed these people to loot this country and get away. Even him, Lalit Modi also comes to mind. But that's a different debate altogether. Yes, Prasanji.
No, I don't want to get into BJP or Congress. My point is about the government, because the power lies with the government. Now the BJP happens to be in the government today for the past 3 years. First of all, my criticism of this government is that they went slow. They should have booked this guy, this known offender, long back. They went slow on the investigation, and the way he ran away from this country, it smacks of collusion. And if nobody has been, as you are correctly pointing out, who has leaked that information to Mallya? If that fellow has not been pinned down, that only shows that there is collusion at the highest levels of this government.
See, the limited point that we are making, Prasanjit, today, we've discussed it in detail. We've discussed it in detail over what he's done, what the charge sheet says, what are the allegations.
You have spoken more than even the anchors in this debate.
Point taken. This is the anchor here now. This is Tanvi talking, Prasanjit. Sanju is taking a deep breath right now and taking a few minutes of break. But let me talk at least.
You are so talkative. You just tell us.
Okay, Prasanjit, calm down.
Listen to others.
Calm down. The point here is we are asking, why is it that Vijay Mallya is acting so cocky? If Vijay Mallya could know it back then, that he needs to get out of this country before cases are filed and action is taken and passport is revoked and the ED and the CBI are all going going to wake up and start chasing him. He was out of this country. Why is it he's still doing that today, Jitendra Bhargava? Is it that he knows the law will still not catch up? Every day he stands and he mocks the government by saying they have nothing. They have nothing. They have nothing.
A couple of points here. Number one, there's no denying that the UPA government did precious little to take him to task.
Yes,
no
and we'll go to that point in just a minute.
Also no denying the fact that post his running away from the country, BJP government has been trying to get him back.
Yeah.
But the question remains, in the week that the heat was developing on him, how did he manage to go away? That is, as Anand very rightly said, a matter of inquiry.
Yes.
Now, why is he behaving this way?
वो ऐसा
Anand, a minute.
भार्गव ऐसा कि वो ना कोतवाल आके कहता है उसको कि देखिए आज रात को हवालात पे ताला नहीं लगेगा, जहां निकलना है निकल लो, कल से मैं ताला लगाना शुरू करूंगा.
So that's why we are saying. So it is in the interest of BJP. It is in the interest of BJP to institute an inquiry as to what happened in those 5-6 days when there was tremendous heat on him. And I remember being on the Times Not
Yes,
debate
we used to do a debate every day.
To look at that, how did he manage, who tipped him off, etc. It is in their interest.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be having a debate here. Now coming to what Vijay Mallya's cockiness as we are talking, the subject of debate today. His arrogance is unlimited, unmitigated. He still believes he has done no wrong. He believes all the charges that CBI is giving in the court in London and in India is all stupid, nothing, no sense in it. But let's look at it. What is he trying to deny? He has himself gone to the Supreme Court and said he wants an out-of-court settlement, is willing to pay the principal amount. If he knows that he is to pay the principal amount, he is a defaulter. Because he is not paid in time, he is a proclaimed offender. So what is he trying to say, that you do not have facts? Now somebody has got to drill into him that, look, you are being absolutely stupid. You are trying to put up a bravado, an act of bravado, when there is no need for it. The easiest course, you may try and impress your friend's circle, close circle. The reality is, just give up and come back to India, face the law, and get punished.
Mr. Bhargava, he feels he doesn't need to and he won't ever be pulled back, dragged back. Because for the longest time, he's had the blessings.
There are people on the board of United Distilleries, UB Group, who are well-known industrialists in India, who still maintain he's done no wrong. So forget about Vijay Mallya not feeling it that way. His friends who are in corporate world.
People who bought his company discovered that there was a lot of wrongdoing and allegedly funds had been siphoned off. I am yet to see the light of the day in that investigation, where those funds went and what happened. And Diageo is not even saying anything anymore. Anand, Mr. Bhargava has multiple questions, but Alimuddin Khan, Anand, because in the creation of this entire mess, the UPA also is responsible. Alimuddin Khan, आज तो हम सवाल पूछ सकते हैं कि माल्या को जाने कैसे दिया, पर माल्या को बनाया किसने ऐसा, और उसके लोन्स करवाए किसने थ्रू, ये सब तो UPA के टाइम में हुआ था. उसकी जवाबदारी कौन देगा?
देखिए तानवी जी, although it is irrelevant, but I want to remind Sanju Verma ji that Tanvi and Anand ji are not carrying cows in a truck where she is playing like a cow vigilant on the national television.
What?
She is a BJP spokesperson. She should have patience.
Come on, Mr. Alimuddin Khan.
Okay, now I come to the subject.
Okay. No.
Come on, Mr. Khan. Let's get to the point.
Just ignore a comment like this because 40 minutes से Alimuddin Khan चुप बैठे.
We know that you are out of power and you'll be reduced to 4 seats, but please don't vent your frustration on me.
कहीं तो.
I am not going to be cowed down.
Let's come back to Vijay Mallya.
I'm not going to be cowed down.
Let's come back to Vijay Mallya. Pun intended. Yes.
Your Mr. Rahul Gandhi has fled off to Italy after inciting violence in Mandsaur, and you come and give me lectures.
Okay, now let's not deviate. Otherwise, we'll have to mute both the
You see, Anand ji.
मुद्दे पर आए.
You see, Anand ji.
Mr. Alimuddin Khan, I'm not going to be bullied down by you.
Please wait.
Anand ji.
So please don't even try.
Please wait. Yes, Alimuddin.
Don't even try.
Sanju Verma, please. Alimuddin Khan.
Anand, now will you please ask him not to make personal comments? You have different set of rules for me and different set of rules for Alimuddin Khan.
Like I said, ma'am, every time you shout,
Please ask him not to make such stupid statements.
If it's stupid, the world knows. You don't need to overreact.
Okay, but Mr. Khan, please don't unnecessarily use such language and such words and needle your other political opponents here. Please get to the point. The point is, Vijay Mallya, and you must answer us. How is it that these kind of loans were given, restructured, all of the leeway given? How is it that all of you political parties were best friends, best chums with him in the upper house? उनको तो एविएशन पैनल में, कॉमर्स के पैनल में बिठा भी दिया था. क्या चल क्या रहा था उस टाइम पे?
देखिए Tanvi ji, it was done very systematically. First of all, BJP arranged his escape from the airport. Our intelligence agencies are not that weak that they cannot identify this person on the airport. So BJP arranged his escape to London, number one. Number two, give him sufficient time there in London in sending ED and CBI people there so that he can get a case registered against himself there in UK to delay his extradition. To delay his extradition. So BJP and Vijay Mallya are hand and glove. BJP one way trying to his extradition, other way helping him to stay back there in London.
Who helped him
to enjoy his rest of his life in London?
We should have not
BJP and the JDS
did him help trying to recover 6,000 crore of dues. That's what the BJP government has done. You need to be blind not to see it.
Wait, no point outshouting an argument which is not sane. It does not make sense. Alimuddin Khan, it is, as far as my information, the BJP and the JDS helped him get into the Rajya Sabha once each. But there was one party which helped him twice. Do you know which party it is,
2010, sir. 2010.
Do you know which party it is?
2010.
And put him on all the parliamentary panels.
Do you know which party? Do you know which party it is, sir? Do you know which government it is which treated him like a royal, despite the fact that he was actually ragged? Please tell me, sir. Bankrupt हो गए थे लेकिन फिर भी उनको बादशाह की तरह कौन ट्रीट कर रहा था? किसकी सरकार थी, सर?
That's what I'm.
एक बात बताऊं मैं आपको।
देखिए सर, मैं जो आपके एक पैनलिस्ट हैं वो नीटू जी जो आपकी पैनलिस्ट हैं, एक्स एम्प्लॉई हैं, मैं उनसे ये बात कहना चाहता हूं कि गवर्नमेंट यूपीए गवर्नमेंट ने इस कंपनी को रिवाइव करने के लिए रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग करने के लिए
लेकिन जो
हमें ये नहीं
जो
पता
800 से ज्यादा फैमिलीज थी ना, 800 से ज्यादा एम्प्लॉइज की फैमिलीज थी, मैं आपको बताऊं, मेरे पास चिट्ठी है, मेरे पास एक चिट्ठी है, मैं आपको बताऊं, जो कि डीओपीटी की तरफ गई थी, जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मिनिस्टर के पास गई थी यूपीए में, और पता है उनको क्या कहा गया? ये हमारा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, जाओ।
मिस्टर खान, वो पैसा कहाँ जा रहा था? लेकिन
एग्जैक्टली द पॉइंट, पैसे तो आपने रिस्ट्रक्चर करवा दिए, बट वेयर दोस फंड्स गो?
जैसे यूपीए
गवर्नमेंट को ये पता लगा
the
lenders were not paid, the employees were not paid,
कंपनी को पैसा देते हैं, हम उसका मनी ट्रेल के साथ चल गया।
Alimuddin Khan, don't give us that explanation because you know very well.
But why BJP was waiting for 3 years, sir? Tanvi ji, why BJP was
waiting? You got the loans restructured. What happened to that money? You never bothered to ask.
That is the big question.
You never bothered to ask. The vendors were not paid. The lenders were not paid. The employees were not paid. The taxes weren't paid. What was the government doing back then?
And rather than
you know what, ladies and gentlemen, just calm down. Now here's the thing, Shailendra Singh.
Yeah.
Shailendra Singh, let the citizens speak. Let Neetu Shukla speak. Let Jitendra Bhargava speak. Sujay Kantawala speak. Let Shailendra Singh speak. You know what is happening, Shailendra Singh?
In this debate?
Yeah, you know what is happening, Shailendra Singh?
Come on, Anand, if you want to have a political debate, why
no, we don't want to have, you know, this was another quasi-expose, Shailendra Singh. Allow me just 30 seconds and it's all yours.
Hang on.
Just allow me 30 seconds. Just allow me 30 seconds. Sure. And I'm coming to you only. The fact is, this is another quasi-chota political expose on the Newshour. Congress will say BJP ne kiya, BJP will say Congress ne kiya, NDA will say UPA ne kiya, UPA will say NDA ne kiya, और उधर एक बंदा बैठा है जो हमको देखकर बोलता ha 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 ha. The joke is on you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the reality, Shailendra Singh.
Correct. That's the point.
And that's how he mocks us. That's why he mocks us.
So yeah, I think what is interesting is that I think the entire nation is watching.
Now both political parties pipe down, please. Let the citizens speak.
Yes, agreed that Mr. Vijay Mallya is guilty. Come on.
Yes, Shailendra, go ahead.
Sir, you spoke for 20 minutes, sir. I mean, come on, give us we vote for you, give us a chance. So I think the verdict is out tonight to the entire country. All of India understands tonight that Congress and BJP both believe that Mr. Vijay Mallya is guilty. Great. Please tell the entire nation, when are you bringing him back and putting him behind bars? That's it.
Oh, but it is not in the hands of the Indian government now. You see, it is in the UK court.
Okay, Shailendra.
You can only endeavour to expedite the hearing and get him back. But ultimately, the decision makers is not the government.
Indian government is putting out the case. The Indian government let him run away. The Indian government let him commit the crime. Come on, I mean, we can't let this happen.
Okay, Shailendra, I actually want to ask you this.
To be honest,
Mr. Bhargava, you and Sujoy can comment on this.
Yeah. I think the answers have to be given.
Yes, pure and simple
we
question.
We cannot allow these two parties to fight and let the confusion prevail.
Exactly my point. As a citizen, do you believe that he knows that this is all that's going to happen? He's had the blessings of the powers that be in the past, and this time also he's going to get away.
Exactly the
he
point,
can sit and mock whoever and as much as he wants because nobody is going to be able to touch him. Do you believe that's what is happening? And all of this is just a drama.
Anand, can I come in?
Wait. Yeah, so Joy.
He has
and legally also
he has engaged a top law
Mr. Mallya obviously knows more than all of us combined. That's why he's smiling and that's why he's so cocky.
See, he has engaged a top law firm over there. He has engaged a Queen's Counsel over there. He is bankrolling these lawyers, expensive lawyers. And so they have a clear strategy. They have a strategy to defeat us. They have a strategy to delay these proceedings. And there is a tire system over there.
Yeah.
So once the matter has got into the courts, all we need to do is expedite that process, because only if that process is expedited, and therefore we have to make the efforts. We as lawyers, I'm sure there'll be half a dozen lawyers who are willing to give up 3 months or 6 months of their practice, willing to support the government on this, because it's our money that he's robbed us of. We will camp there, we will assist the Crown Protection Service, and we'll see to it that the magistrate in Westminster expedites the hearing of this, because look at the dates. We are talking about July, then he's talking, we'll extend the bail to December. But therefore, we have to now force the system to hear Vijay Mallya's case out of turn and see to it that at least the first round comes in our favor.
You know, today also
That's going to be big victory.
Today also in court, Sujay, their side tried convincing the judge that they should slot the final hearing only next year.
April 2018.
Yes.
So therefore, we have to see, we have to oppose that. And we have to assist the Crown Protection Service, because now it's a matter of that judicial system in that country.
Sadly, the truth is, Sujay Katawala, just like there are others who will say 2 to 3 months of our own earnings we are ready to sacrifice to go and help the Crown Protection Service or to help the
I'm willing to do that.
I know, but there are others who are willing to help the Mallya camp.
Oh, absolutely.
There are others. That's the reality.
That is unfortunate.
That's the reality. We just saw a lot of, you see a lot of our viewers who just got in. Can we pull out those involved.in responses that we got once again, please? Because one of them said he has stood there and openly mocked the top court of this country.
Yes.
He has said the British courts will give me a fair trial.
That's right.
But the fact is today, he says that standing on British soil, mocks India, but we can't do anything about it. Can anybody do anything about it today?
See, 100 years back, Bhagat Singh went and did what he had to, but we can't do that. The problem is that. So therefore, now what we have to do is we have to see that this case is expedited. We will form a team. We are willing to do that for this country. Because, listen, Vijay Mallya is a test case. There are other people who are in line, who are waiting and watching what is being done. And therefore, if we do that as far as Mallya is concerned, we'll show that we are a strong united nation and we are going to get him back. We are going to locate all those assets and we are going to go after him.
I would like to add to what he said.
Okay. Yeah.
I would like to just add to what he said.
I feel ashamed sitting in India and the fugitive is insulting all of us. V. Radhakrishna. Yashika, I too am a Kingfisher employee. Money being siphoned off was known to all. Neetu Shukla, a lot of Kingfisher ex-employees are watching this. K.R. Prithviraj says, is it not a mockery of our judiciary that Mallya just keeps making statements? We must take up the matter with UK seriously. Mallya thinks he's beyond reach, but I'm sure the Modi government knows how to grab this criminal, but after how many years, we don't know.
Can I please come in?
And Vijay Mallya has been allowed to flee. Unfortunately, Prime Minister Modi is fighting to bring him back. Plenty of others who have said, Neetu. Yeah. The last word I'll allow you as we wind up the debate. What do you think should be done?
On the extradition, I would like to make a point.
Yes, Neetu.
Hi. Could I make a point, please?
Yeah.
Go ahead. We all know that the verdict comes in favor of that person who presents a stronger case. We all know that we have a very strong case in India. Now, what remains to be seen is whether we dilute our case or whether we go with the strongest possible case that we have. Because the fact that the man is an absconder, the fact that the man is a criminal is beyond doubt. The fact that he has always been right on every count is as big a lie as him saying that only 2 alcoholics were screaming chor chor, when the whole of India in chorus is screaming chor chor whenever they see him.
Yes.
So I believe that now is when we would come to know the actual sincerity of the government in getting Mr. Vijay Mallya back.
Yes.
I still have hopes that they will get him back.
What
I doubt is whether we'll get our recoveries, because some people believe that unless all criminals are not punished, one person shouldn't be singled out.
True.
So that is the flimsiest argument.
It is. Yes, doesn't hold any value at all.
They say this about alcohol, that when you are one or two down, you start speaking the truth. That those were those drunken guys who said chor chor. And then when you are a liquor baron, you lose control of your faculties. And that's Vijay Mallya, who was lying through his teeth at that point in time. I just can't get over the fact that he was lying even about being called a chor.
And in all fairness, you must admit and put it on record, the government post his running away from India has been sincere.
Yeah.
People may have doubts. People may have doubt that the case is.
I like how you say post is running away. Okay, quickly. 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. My director is really yelling at us right now for wrapping this up.
I already said it earlier.
Absolutely.
Responsibility.
Yeah. Sanju, come on.
These Indians should not have any doubt that the government has worked sincerely, put up a strong case, and we are confident that he will be finally extradited.
I want to make a last point.
एक ही कहावत है, उसी पे we are going to wind up. Sanju Verma, the next debate on Mallya, you will open with you. अब पछताए क्या हो जब चिड़िया चुग गई खेत, माल्या लूट के गया, वहाँ बैठ के हंस रहा है और हम यहाँ पूछ रहे हैं वो कब आएगा, कब आएगा, कब आएगा. That's the question that leaves hanging on this debate tonight. Winding up.